Welcome to Linux tutorial. In this session, we have a prepared, clean, designed course to offer you to understand from scratch to Linux knowing person. This course will guide you to know your strengths once the course is completed and where your point of weakness is. We will cover you to give a more strength on that. And here we'll see the outline of the course, what we are going to be covering, the basic main points we'll see. Linux, what is Linux and history? The basic, what is about the Linux, and the history, what you will be able to know, and Linux distributions. What are the Linux distributions? You will know about the distributions and what are the CentOS distributions, Unix distributions. These are the flavors will be covers in this section. And places for practice Linux, where you want to set your environment to practice your Linux and install your own server and environment where you can able to access the terminal either local or remotely will be covered in this section. Linux installation from scratch. There is a basic at the beginning of the level of the stage we have initiated that session, and up to end of the level where you will get the screen of your by accessing of your prompt. And network configurations, how to configure your network and access your Linux server from outside of the boundary through the network. And Linux file system hierarchy, what are the directories and how the file structure is designed in Linux like operating systems and Linux flavor distributions will be discussed, will help you to understand what is exactly the Linux file structure hierarchy. And Linux basic commands, most and familiar in regular usage, the basic commands is discussed over here to understand you to be free on hands-on with your experience in Linux basic commands. And way to connect a Linux system, there is a different ways to connect your Linux machine, either direct connection or remote connection using SSH connection, PuTTY connection through remote login, and transfer the files over the network by connecting some other things will be discussed in this section. And come to the permissions. What are the permissions we have to give a user authentication levels and authorization? Likewise, read, write, execute will be more productively discussed here to understand from scratch to advanced level of the permissions to accessing, whereas user and group and anonymous user accesses. Command line editors. Here there is many editors are available. We have a topmost editors like Nano and VI editors we have discussed in this session to understand you to open a Linux configuration file and shell scripts, how to open and how to modify or create a file and save it and run it. That particular levels standardization we have given you in the course. And monitoring tools like a top command, what are the resources are utilized and using the resources which is occupying, and the performance of your Linux server, everything is discussed in monitoring tool. And the directories and navigation, and how to navigate the directory, how to access the directory will be discussed here. And input output redirections, how we are giving an input into the file, we can also redirect to where we require to save the data and all. And transferring the files over network, connecting PuTTY and using FileZilla and WinSCP tools to connect your server and transfer the files and all. Basic shell script, what is shell and what is the script, how to write a basic shell script is explained clearly here, and which will give you a more power to develop your automation jobs and creating a scripts and all for the shell scripting. And way to connect Linux systems, there is a different ways to connect your Linux machine will be discussed over here. And access change file directory permissions, any modifications or changes occurred in the permission will clearly give you more strength and to secure your operating system to unauthorized access of your secure user environment zone. And viewing and editing of the files, and copy, move, delete, these are the very common functionalities where the user is required to handle such situations is clearly discussed. Finding files and directories, the major ways, simply how you will find the file or directory from your file structure. And in advanced to searching using a pipe symbol will give you more strength. You will group a item like Apache. If you want to find out the Apache files and all with the name of, you will find using the pipe how it would be, it's clearly explained. And troubleshooting points, it's a majorly there is a session especially for this top 5 things you will know when your server is down or getting any issue. And process controlling and job control, how you will initiate the processes, stopping and starting and restarting, and knowing about the process utilization, everything will be discussed here. When you will easily handle your server by knowing these tools. And job automations with a schedule, there is a cron job technique is there for automation in Linux operating system. We have clearly discussed about cron job and cron, how to write a cron job with the example, clearly real-time examples are explained. And software package management, how to install a packages and how to uninstall a package, complete the management, we have a session clearly discussed with that. First 5 things to know when your server down, you will be know first 5 things. There is a special edition is there to be identified, and I would like to see you here at the prompt at our course. We love to see you at course. Thanking you.